everyone, my name is Gigi and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the act of labeling yourself and the positives and negatives behind labeling yourself. In today's video, I really want to get into how negatively labeling yourself can turn out and the reasons why you might be more stuck in life because of the way you're labeling yourself. What a lot of people don't realize about labeling yourself is how much worth is behind what you say. The things that we label ourselves are what we identify as. So the words that you describe yourself as are what you are or what you will become. Even if you're not thinking about it, saying that you're the shy friend or you're really anxious all the time or oh, I could never do that. I could never wear that. I'm dumb. I'm not smart enough. I could never be that confident. I'm too shy. Constantly labeling yourself these things every single day over and over is teaching your brain that that is what you are. If you view your brain as an external person and every single day you told that person, you're ugly, you're stupid, you could never do that. You could never achieve that. What do you think that person would think? They would think they were too dumb, not smart enough, not confident enough, that they couldn't do it. You would never say the things that you say to yourself to another person. Assuming you are nice people, I'd assume you'd never call another person ugly to their face. You would never say to them, "You're ugly. You're not smart enough." But you will happily say it to yourself and you will convince yourself that that is the truth. You might say it lightheartedly, but in the end, you're labeling yourself something. And when you label yourself as the shy person, the ugly person, the dumb person, you will embody that. If you believe yourself to be that, you will be that. That is how it works. And because you believe these things about yourself, you're not smart enough, you could never do that, you could never achieve that, you're limiting yourself. How are you ever going to go beyond that belief if you don't believe you can? How will you achieve stuff if you believe you can't achieve it? That is the damaging side of labeling yourself. Even if it's as a joke or very lightheartedly, labeling yourself something so negatively is the reason why you're stuck where you are, is the reason why you're feeling the way that you are. All you're doing by labeling yourself is reinforcing that negative outlook on yourself. The more you do that, the more difficult it is to get out of that. If you're constantly being negative to yourself and putting yourself down, you'll find it more and more hard to feel confident and love yourself. And when you're not confident and you don't love yourself, you won't achieve your goals and you will never be the best version of yourself. When you're constantly telling people around you, oh, I'm too shy, or I could never go on a stage, or I could never talk to that person, what do you think's going to happen when you're presented with those opportunities? You're not going to be able to do it. You've convinced yourself you can't do it because you're not that person. All because you've identified with the label you've given yourself. You've told yourself so many times that you're not smart, you're not beautiful, you're not confident enough, and you've embodied that label. I am living proof of this, and I will use myself as an example every single time because it's true. I used to say to myself so many times when I was younger, I'm not smart enough, I'm not smart enough, I can't do that because I'm not smart enough. Only smart people can do that, I'm too dumb. I can't even work out my times tables. I can't even work out this. How am I meant to do all these other things? And what do you think happened? How do you think I went through life? Not doing them. I lost so many opportunities because I talked myself down because I labeled myself as not being able to do them. I wasn't smart enough. I wasn't good enough. What do you think happened when I changed how I labeled myself? That's right. Everything. Everything changed. The things I said I couldn't do because I was not smart enough or not good enough, I did. Because the only person that was holding me back, the only thing that was holding me back was myself. Because I didn't believe I could do it, I didn't. So once I started believing I could do it, I did it. And I will always use that as an example. I will always use myself as an example because it's true. I am just a normal, everyday human being. There is nothing special about me. I am exactly like you sitting on the other side of this screen. So if I can do it, If I can go from telling myself I'm dumb, I can't do this, I'm too anxious, I'm not good enough, to saying that I am good enough, I am smart enough, I can do it, so can you. So the first thing you need to do is notice what you're labeling yourself. Throughout the day, take notice of everything you're saying to yourself, saying about yourself, and note them down, either mentally or physically make a list. Then, once you have that list, start detaching yourself from those labels. Every time you hear yourself saying them, call yourself out and tell yourself no. In fact, tell yourself the exact opposite. If you find yourself looking in the mirror and saying, "Oh, I look ugly today," stop yourself. Call yourself out. No, I'm not going to say that. I look beautiful today. If you find yourself trying to do some work and then you go, "Oh, I'm too dumb for this, I'm not good enough," immediately stop yourself. Tell yourself off. No, don't say that. You are good enough. You're smart. You're confident. You can do this. The more you start doing that, the more you call yourself out, you stop yourself, and you almost tell yourself off like you're a child, the more you will learn not to do it. The more you remove yourself from these labels, the more you detach yourself from them, the less likely you are to believe them, and you will believe the opposite. And share that with people. Share to people, especially your closest friends, that you are working on yourself. I'm trying to be more confident. Let's go do this. I'm trying to work on believing myself and being more confident. Share that with people that you're close to. Get them involved with it. Maybe even tell them to call you out when you start talking bad about yourself. As soon as you say a label that is negative about yourself, having your friends turn around and say, "Hey, don't say that about yourself. That's not very nice." Even having that external notification that you've done something wrong, that you've said something wrong and the people around you don't appreciate, will make you even more aware that you shouldn't be saying these things about yourself and that you're not those things. So if on the inside you're telling yourself off and the people around you on the outside are telling you off, your brain is more likely to make new habits, to redirect itself and retrain itself like you are a child learning. And you'll notice you'll start saying these things less and less. You'll start labeling yourself negatively less and less. And like I said, the positive side of labeling is the fact that yes, labeling yourself negatively, describing yourself negatively, and becoming what you describe yourself as, if you're talking negatively about yourself, is bad. But if you label yourself positively, you go around saying to yourself, "I'm beautiful, I'm confident, I can do this," and you describe yourself as that, you identify as that, you become that, that is a positive way of labeling yourself. So labeling yourself is not a bad thing to do. Talking about yourself and identifying yourself is not a bad thing, but it is how you label yourself, how you talk about yourself. And the best thing about this all is that you can start right now. Right this second after you finish this video, or even during this video, you might be thinking of ways you should change. Because it doesn't cost any money, it doesn't require a lot of effort. All you have to do is remind yourself, no, I'm not going to say that to myself, and rewire what you're doing. A little by little, every single day, until suddenly you don't even realize you've changed the way your brain works. You've gone from being a very negative person who says that they're not smart enough, they're not good enough, to someone who's telling themselves, "I'm confident, I'm beautiful, I can do this." And it's simply just down to telling yourself off and rewiring your brain. That is all from me today. I hope you have enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget to comment down below and I will try and get back to every single comment. Don't forget to subscribe and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!